time truly flies. Right, to this day, I still feel like I'm 19. Sometimes people ask me, and without thinking, I'll be like, I'm 19. And I have to stop myself and be like, damn, no, I'm 22. I'm almost 23. And if that's not motivation enough, I don't know what is. Because it just scares me to think that I'll blink and realize that I'm 30, 32, 35, and only time will tell, and your effort that you put in, how you use that time will show what you become when that time comes. I hope I didn't confuse you too much, but you get what I'm saying. Because I feel like 25, 30, 35, those are all like serious ages. That's when it's like, okay, what are you truly trying to do? Like those questions of your life start coming in. But honestly, what I will tell you is that if they don't know your dreams, they can't shoot them down. Use your time wisely and always be striving for the best. Number two is, or what you'll realize at 21, hopefully, is that action over words all day. People will say things, people will do things, relationship, work, whatever it is, family, they'll tell you things, and sometimes there'll be things you like to hear, but their actions will say otherwise. So don't let somebody's words and how they talk influence you or have you believe something that's not what it's out to be. Always look at the actions. Somebody will say, yeah, I'll change. I'm looking to do this. I'm looking to do that. And then you fool yourself because you're infatuated. The best way to explain this is relationship wise, right? You lie to yourself and you believe it, even though there's some red flags, but you're still like, nah, because you're infatuated, but their actions say otherwise. They say they're purpose driven, that they're on their goals because you're on your goals, but they're at home all the time. And it bugs you because then you're thinking, is this really the one for me? But you're so infatuated and they're telling you that they are. You kind of skim over it and you believe it. So actions over words all day. That's how you avoid yourself getting hurt, and that's how you avoid yourself from being fooled. People will say things so confidently, so lovingly, that you're convinced the whole time they're holding a knife behind their back waiting for you to turn around. So be observant. Words are nice, but actions are what solidifies it. And take this even with yourself, because it's nice to talk about your goals. It's nice to talk about the actions that you will take or that you want to take, but practice what you preach. Number three is outgrowing friends, family members, people. It's completely fine and normal to outgrow people, friends, things, places, but it's the ones that often tend to suck the most. Because oftentimes when it comes to outgrowing, it won't be like an acquaintance. It won't be like people that you just kind of know. It'll be the people that are closest to you. It'll be your girlfriend. It's gonna be your close family, relatives. It's gonna be the friends that you hang out with 24/7 because they like where they're at, but you don't, and they'll make you feel crappy about it because it's just not the life that they're used to. They're not used to seeing change. People oftentimes don't like change, but in the end, you can't stay the same because you'll be the one looking in the mirror asking yourself and regretting your decision. So it's important that you go through that process. And I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna lead to a lonely chapter in your life. Because honestly, if you want to be great, if you're watching this channel, it means you have a fire deep inside you. And if that's the case, you gotta be the person that's at home working out or in the gym working out while everybody's partying or everybody's on holidays. When you're getting those invites and you're like, I gotta do something. Hey, let's go out. Hey, why don't you go out with us no more? I hear that all the time, and I make up excuses, and I want to be doing that. I want to be hanging out, but like I said in the first point, time is limited and I gotta spend it wisely, and I want to spend it the best I could, and that's achieving my goals. You're gonna have those cold and hard late nights alone while everybody else is having fun without you, but it's necessary. But honestly, you just can't let those things phase you. That's a part of becoming great, and if they have the best interest, they'll come around eventually. If not, then it is what it is. Alex Hormozi wrote something that I found interesting, and it's this. I'm gonna read it to you right now. Uncomfortable truth: the people rooting for you and the people hoping you fail are often the same people, only separated by different times in your life. The lesson is root for yourself and let people watch you succeed. Mayweather says, some people come pay to see him lose. Some people come pay to see him win. At the end of the day, he's still getting paid. Some people might change up. You might change. But I just hope that it's for the better and that you're improving. The fourth point is adult by age doesn't mean you're a man. Because you could be 18, 16 and know the meaning of what it means to be a man. And you could be 30 years old with a boy mindset. The path to being a man is to be the sacrificial lamb and to be the ferocious lion. You must know what that means, and you must walk that path and experience things without fear. I mean, fear is going to be there, but it's the actions that you take, right, that separate the hero from the coward. But you never learn that lesson if you're not out there. Before in time, we'd have those coming of age for men, right, where they have to slay the mammoth, and that's what makes them become a man, where they have to jump this big gap between a waterfall, whatever it is. And we don't really have that anymore, which kind of puts us in this gray area of like, okay, what is that for us? What is that for me? We gotta almost make that for ourselves. Point number 5 is women. One great woman, a type that makes your life easier, the type that cheers you on when you're up against your endeavors, the type that makes a house a home, is 100 times better than the 5 to 10 or 3 girls that you have in your rotation. And I came to this realization actually on a run because I'd often, before I was Muslim, I'd talk to multiple girls, right? And I'd have this kind of feeling of guilt because I was always religious. And I just think like, what is my intention? Is my intention to marry her? Is my intention to have a home with this girl? Is my intention to have a family with her? And the answer was always no. So I'd kind of be in this limbo of like, all right, so what am I doing? Why am I here? Why am I wasting somebody? Why am I ruining somebody else's wife? And sure, you could call me blue pill. You could call me a simp for thinking this. It's just my conscience. But the reality of it is that if I never came to that realization, then the other side of that would be me distracting myself with women, me focus on the wrong things, then being focused on my goals, me focused on degeneracy. Because sure, you can be successful and be a degenerate, but is that the path I want to walk? Is that a path as a man that I've chosen for myself to be a warrior, a modern warrior? Is that how he'd conduct himself? The answer is no. It's like I'm distracting myself with all these degenerate things, and I'm in like a certain vibration of having all these girls and being lustful, that when my future wife walks past me, I will never see her. I'll be blinded to it because I'm not in the right state to see it, to deserve it. I wouldn't know what she looked like because I'm not the type of man that I need to be. I'm the degenerate guy, that the player that is often so glorified in our society. And I'm just with these girls that aren't the value that I'm looking for. How will I ever come across my wife, my future wife, the woman that I described in the beginning, making a house a home, making life easier, that brings peace? The reality is that you will never know. You never get to see that because of the mindset that is promoted, the mindset that is glorified, the mindset that you chose to stay in my opinion, is bad. But if you're like a worldly person, you're not that religious. Honestly, I don't stick to the ideals of red pill, blue pill, purple pill, whatever it is. I just take what's useful from each one and implement it to my life and use it to my benefit. And honestly, that's how I think you should go. I always say this, when you stick to one ideal, it's the same aspect of you feel like you've known everything you needed from life, but life changes, life adapts, time changes. So you got to take what's useful and discard what's not. Just like the adaptation with martial arts, right? The philosophies of red pill, blue pill, getting women, and martial arts now is very similar, because don't just fully stick to one ideal, because then you're limited to the limitations of that one ideal. And let me tell you that every move is always going to have one weakness to it. So when you can solidify yourself and have basically be an ace of a lot of things, it makes you that much more dangerous. I think this is point number 5, but it's you'll never get time that you spent back. And I don't mean to get religious, but there is an idea of Islam that I really like, and it's that your day is written already. Whatever's for you is already written for you, including death. So you often have to think, okay, if today's going to be my last day, do I want to end it on a good note or on a bad note? It often kind of has you thinking, and it's not even like really a sad, some people might see it as a sad way to think, but I don't see it that way, right? Because I think it makes you a better person, honestly, when you know that, when you have that reminder that your days are numbered, that you might take your last breath at any moment. Because once you start thinking like that about yourself, you start thinking like that about other people, right? And you're like, damn, well, I should treat my mother better. I should be around my family more. Because who knows when their time is written as well? Who knows when my friend's time is written as well? Because when that time is up, you'll never get that time back. Do I want to end it on something good, on something great, or do I want to end it on opportunities lost? Because the mindset that you're putting is literally that there is no tomorrow. Tomorrow doesn't exist because it's not guaranteed. You're assuming that you're going to make it to tomorrow. You're assuming that you're going to start on Monday and that you're going to make it on Monday. But we just don't know. And so that's why it's vital that we do our best today, that we be good people today. When you look back on your life, what are you going to be held accountable for? What is it going to say for yourself? What is it going to show? What are you going to leave behind? So you got to make sure that you spend your time wisely. And then you realize that a lot of things aren't worth it, because when that time is gone, it's done. So who do you want to be today, right now, at this moment? Point number 6 is nobody's coming to save you. There's something we got to come to terms, right? There won't be a Simon Squibb asking you what your dream is and helping you with it. There won't be a influencer saying, hey, can you give me $1? And then you give it to them and they're like, here's 10,000. No. And even if that's the case, cool. But make sure that you're doing everything in your power to save yourself first. There's a line from Prince Zuko that I love, and I think this is why a lot of young men of this generation from Avatar: The Last Airbender like Zuko so much. And is this line. He says, I think he said, like, my sister's always gifted. She was always lucky. But my father said I was just lucky to be born. I don't want luck. I never needed luck. I always made my own luck. He said something along those lines. And it hits so hard. You got to make your own opportunities. It's up to you to get your family out of the struggle. It's up to you to cut out all distractions. And there's this quote that's kind of like, it might trigger people, but it's this, and I believe it. You give broke people money and they're still going to be broke, because it's the mindset. You got to make your own luck. So even if that help did come across, if you're not the person that's willing to achieve, if you're not that entrepreneur already, despite your circumstances, if you're not that fighter already, despite where you're at, if you don't have that heart and that mindset, whatever help you receive is going to be lost. It's going to be for nothing because you're not there. I can teach you how to be the best. I can teach you how to be great, and I could guide you step by step, get a coach, give you all this money. But if your mindset is on drinking, going to the club, and having fun, well, guess what you're going to do with it? With the time and the money, you're going to waste it. So either way, it's important that you realize that nobody's coming to save you and that you got to save yourself. Being 20, being 21, your early 20s in general, it will set the tone to who you are and your life. It will set the tone for the rest of your life. But you have to be willing to make those sacrifices if you want the quality to be greater. You have to be willing to walk the path of solitude, to walk the path of hungriness, of being alone, of sad nights, of it's not easy. Success is not easy, it's ugly. And it's often glorified from the results because we just see the 30 seconds of what somebody did, but we didn't see the 10 years of work that they put behind it. You got to be willing to be laughed at, criticized, and be alone and struggle and nobody believe in it. And you having doubts, but who's going to save you? What other option do you have if it's not you betting on yourself? And that's how it's got to be every time. And that's pretty much it, man. Mad love. If you want my one-to-one coaching on self-improvement or my workout routine, link in the description. I got some free stuff in there too. And, you know what I'm saying? If you want to cop some Warrior Class merch, it's there. And yeah, man, like, subscribe, share, like I said, if you got benefit from this video. That's it. Mad love. Peace.